everyone. I have a reputation for being something that most people hate being called. I am stupid, okay? And really, I mean, it's the story of my life. It is something I really live by, and it's something I really believe in. To be stupid is something that I learnt the hard way. I realized it over a long period of time, and it took me through a lovely journey to actually figure out that being stupid is actually one of the best things that one can possess. 15 years ago, when I was in college, everybody wanted to be an engineer, you know, so everybody wanted to have the American dream. They wanted to go from here, go to the US, have a good life, and I just wanted to be a writer. I fell in love with something that not many did at that point of time. It was called advertising, and I wanted to be a copywriter. And when you fall in love, a lot of people will tell you a lot of things, and one of them is that you're being stupid. Somebody told me that, you know, hey, this is not a career. This is just a job. I mean, something you do along with college. This is not something you can make a living out of. I said, wait, maybe that's a point of view. Somebody else told me, you should, you know, go do an MBA. You should probably get an education. You should probably do something interesting. I heard that one out too. And then I finally decided that what's life if you can't take a little bit of risk? What's life if you can't really try something that you really want to do? And when you're in love, you're stupid. And so I began my journey in advertising. With a lovely journey, and people telling me that, smart people telling me that you're ruining your life. And that's how it all began. And after that, I joined Ogilvy Mather, an agency where I had the best times of my life. I met lovely people, people who always told me that you have talent in you, you can make a career out of this. If you persevere, if you have great ideas, you can become something that you want to be, do something that you want to do. I went ahead and I followed my heart. I didn't follow my mind. I chose the hard journey, the path that led to 18-hour working days, working nights, not 9 to 5s, and something good really came out of it. Just when I was in advertising and I was really doing really well, I chanced upon an opportunity to take my career further. But again, it was about something that was not in the same line of what I was doing. It was something else altogether. I got a chance to work with MTV, and I moved straight from advertising to television. Television was a different ball game. It was a different kind of writing. It was a different kind of business. It was a different kind of everything. You met even more creative people out there, young people, and you know, the average age in the office would be so low that you would feel like, hey man, these guys are doing some crazy stuff. And my life opened up out there. I started directing my own shows, writing my own stuff, doing my own things. And I just realized that, hey, this is something that's awesome. People in advertising, when I was leaving advertising, told me, don't go there. You have a great future in advertising, don't go to television. Television is so boring. At that time, television was not even matured as much as today in the kind of channels that we have, the kind of content that we get. The digital piece was not so sorted at that point of time. And I took a punt. I was stupid, and I went ahead, and I had the best time of my life. If you're stupid enough for long enough, people will start calling you smart. And that's what I realized at my journey from MTV onwards. I managed to write a film, a youth film called Mujhse Friendship Karoge, which was a love story set against the backdrop of Facebook. It was a dream that I had when I was 21 years old. When I was 21 years old, I just stood up one day and told my friend at 2 a.m. in the morning that I will write my first film by the age of 30. There was no reason to it. There was no rationale to it, no logic to it. I just said it. The film released about 12 to 13 days before my 30th birthday. And that's how I actually fulfilled my long cherished dream out of the blue by working hard and just getting there and doing different things. So if you're stupid for long enough, people will start thinking you're smart. They'll suddenly say, hey man, this guy's done it right. I mean, he's done a good job. He's fantastic. He's probably worked hard to get here. And all along, throughout the journey, people will always tell you that, hey, this is not right. Maybe you should reconsider. But the real deal out here is that people will always tell you that you're being stupid, that you're making the wrong choices, that you are not doing the right thing. The problem starts when you start listening to them. When you start thinking yourself that, hey, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I should leave this opportunity for another day. Maybe I should just, maybe it's not my thing, it's somebody else's thing. Maybe it's something that maybe I need to go get training for. Now training is going to be a very difficult thing. I don't want to go down that road. You should go down that road. Don't get too smart with yourself. Just be stupid. I mean, that's the real point of being who you are, following your heart, not your mind, not listening to other people. I mean, they will give suggestions, take them. But then you follow what you think is right. And because that's going to take you across a journey which is going to be very fruitful. I'll tell you a little story about how this continues to manifest itself in my daily life. In 2013, I took a road trip in the US. So I was being hosted by this friend of mine, who's a friend of mine, a friend of a friend actually. And he's also a motorcyclist. And he's someone who's done the road trip across America. He's clocked his miles. He's had his fun there. And I was going there for the first time. I had no clue about what traffic in America seems like. I managed to get myself a really nice, trustworthy bike, but that was all I knew. So this guy tells me that, hey, you know what, I'm going to show you how this thing works. He took me on the road and he lowered his car window. And as soon as that happened, we were actually doing 70 miles an hour. Something that you very rarely do on an Indian road. They were doing it on a regular basis. That freaked me out. I couldn't understand for the life of me what I was going to do 2 days from then when I was actually going to be doing my first ever solo motorcycling trip in a land I knew nothing about. So I come back home and I'm like, what do I do now? And suddenly I get pings, I get messages, I get emails, I get calls from all the people who really love me, and they're telling me, do you want to actually hold off on this one? Do you want to do it later? Do you want to chill and just do a backpacking trip, or just go to some Six Flags or something, go have fun and then come back and go to another state, have fun? I started to doubt myself. Honestly, till then I was all pumped about doing what I wanted to do, but just then it was a little bit of a fear that sank in. I started to think, hey man, are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to go down this road? Because you know nothing about it. At that point, I figured out there's something called YouTube. I started seeing videos after videos of how people actually drive in the US, what happens on the roads. I got my little bit of tutorial, and then I called my riding buddy and told him, hey, you know what, I don't think this is my scene. I don't want to do this. I'll probably just do a regular trip like everybody else and just come back and post good vacation photos on my timeline. He told me, are you stupid? That was the first thing he said. I've been riding with you since forever. We've done so many miles across so many places. If there's anyone who's as equipped as me to ride in this country, it's you. Don't even think about it, just get on the bike and go. I sat on the bike, and for the next 5 hours, where it was the scariest time of my life. It was not easy. I had 4 or 5 lanes of traffic whizzing past me, people giving me dirty road signs, all of that happening. It was something that I had not planned for, and you never can plan for this. I had no local person accompanying me to show me the way or do something the right way there. I was on my own, I was in the middle of nowhere, and then when I had lunch, it hit me. I had actually survived this. I had actually come through, and I was going to have the best time of my life over the next 7 days, which is this. I emptied the mind and filled it with nothing. It was about 2,000 miles in total. I visited 3 national parks, 3 big cities. That was my bike. My first pit stop, when I'm having lunch, I'm thinking, hey man, I survived this. I came this far. I went to Vegas, went to the Grand Canyon. I went into Death Valley, which is the hottest, one of the hottest places on earth. And it was really hot. I was melting inside my helmet and my jacket. And it was crazy because Once you're there, you're in the middle of nowhere, there's no one to help you. You don't have a cell phone signal, you have nothing. You're just on your own. If you have any motorcycle damage, that's about it. I mean, you got to figure it out yourself. These are the kind of things you get to see when you're stupid, you know, when you take your own path. This is real. This is not a wallpaper I downloaded. I clicked this photograph. Okay? This is called Tioga Pass. This is the, I mean, we're all familiar with the Yosemite National Park. Came into city again from the wild. And after that, from San Francisco back to LA, I had the ride through heaven, which was this. This is what you see on your right side. Now imagine if I listened to all those people, what would I be doing? I'd be clicking pictures where people were walking around me, where, you know, it was a fun place to hang out with. That's what I'd be doing. But that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. And some roads, I believe, are there so that you can get lost, truly lost. That's the whole point of this. So I came back from my trip, and when you're on the road for about 7 days, you know, your mind is empty, you're not thinking about anything, you're just soaking in the view, you know, what you're experiencing. I decided to take a sabbatical from what I was doing. It changed me. Something happened on that trip, I can't explain it, but it changed me. I came back and I wondered, why am I doing this whole 9-to-5 business? Why am I not aspiring for something far greater? Why am I not trying to write my second film? Why am I not chilling? Why am I not taking a break? Because that's the most important point. A vacation taught me the importance of taking a break from what I do on a daily basis. And then I invested the next 10 months of my life into writing my next film and pitching it across the country. I spent time, so much time, that I never knew existed because I was on the treadmill which went around, round and round and round, and I never got off. And the moment I got off, it just seemed like one big circus to me. What is happening out here? What is this? This insane thing that people are occupied with themselves, just spending 9 to 5, and then 9 to 5, and then 9 to 5 again and again. And then they don't have time. Every time you call them, they say, hey, I'll call you back later. They have an SMS on their phone stored to call you back later. I got off the treadmill. I started cooking 3 meals a day. Every meal. I started having fun with the time I had. I didn't know what to do, so I started picking up new hobbies. I started investing in motorcycling a lot more. And then I had a bucket list. And right at the top of that bucket list was something that I had been pushing year after year after year after year. And that was riding to the roof of the world, which is our very own beautiful Himalayas, the Ladakh, where everything is magical. Believe me, once you go there, you will realize that there is no greater place on the planet. I mean, there are, of course, but that moment, you will just feel complete. When you ride there, you have tears in your eyes because it's just too awesome. And you're the only person on the road, and probably that's probably one time you actually meet the Indian Army and feel the gratitude that you have for what they really do. Because the army is not somebody who takes care, but actually when you go and see how they take care, when you're fighting altitude sickness, when you're fighting, say, temperatures of 2 degrees, 3 degrees, they are doing it on a year-long basis. They don't have the luxury that you have. They're doing a whole lot more. During the trip, we had also gone to Pangong Lake, and our jeep, a support van jeep kind of fell into the lake. Those were the guys who came in the middle of nowhere to help us out. Now this experience you can't have anywhere else if you start taking vacations which are 3 days and 4 nights to Goa, right? And then click lovely pictures and come back. Everybody's Instagram account is pretty much the same these days, right? So this is what you get to see out there. I mean, there's just nowhere. I mean, it's the middle of nowhere. This is somewhere near the Diskit Monastery. This, Khardungla, it's not just the highest point road or something. It's the whole climb that you take to get there and realize that this place is something else. When you stand there, you know that you've achieved something by riding to the top. It's a whole different sense of achievement because achievement just got redefined for me. It was not about the promotion. It was not about landing the fat paycheck. It was about experience and experience something new altogether which changes me as a person. We are actually shivering out there, but we are smiling for photographs. Okay? So, what I want to leave you with a thought is that life is fearful. And I'm really thankful that it's fearful, that it's not easy, that it's not some cakewalk that, hey, I'll just be born and, this is one great journey to the end of me. It's really scary, and be very, very, very thankful for having this fear in your life, because it gives you an opportunity to go over it, to go beyond it, to somewhere explore what you can do, what you cannot do. I think there are far lesser things that you cannot do, and there are more things that you can do. And the only way to do it is by being stupid and being proud about it. Thank you.